This season, it's been almost impossible to predict what's going to happen. Yet, I'm still doing a pretty good job at it. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the NFL Kid. I'm your host, Rishi Merchandani, and today I'm going to be giving you my NFL Week 5 predictions. But first, let's take a look at how I did on my predictions last week. Last week I went 4-1, which is very good. I correctly predicted the Bengals, Bills, Chiefs, and 49ers to all win. However, I thought that the Denver Broncos would beat the Las Vegas Raiders, but they actually ended up losing. So after that week, I'm now 14-6 with my predictions on the season. And since I didn't make a recap video this week, I thought I'd just recap a few of the best games from last week right now. So let's first start off with the Buffalo Bills versus the Baltimore Ravens. The Buffalo Bills beat the Baltimore Ravens last week in what was a crazy ending. This game was tied 20-all with 4 minutes remaining in the game. The Baltimore Ravens were facing a difficult decision. With 4 minutes remaining, they had to decide whether they wanted to go for it on 4th down from the Bills' 5-yard line. John Harbaugh decided to go for it because he knew that if he gave the Bills even a few minutes left, they would be able to go down the field and score a touchdown. So the Ravens went for it, and right from the beginning, this play didn't look good. The Bills' defensive line was able to quickly penetrate the line of scrimmage, and Lamar Jackson was sent scrambling backwards. He had to throw up a wobbly pass, which was intercepted by the Bills, and the Bills marched down the field to kick the game-winning field goal to win the game 23-20. Now, let's take a look at an exciting Sunday Night Football game. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just as I predicted on last week's Sunday Night Football game. Right from the beginning, the Bucs were off to a bad start as they fumbled on the very first play of the game. The Chiefs then proceeded to score a touchdown on their first 3 possessions, going up 21-3. After this, however, the Bucs offense actually played very well, but even the 385 yards of passing yards Tom Brady put up wasn't enough to bring the Bucs back, and they ultimately lost 41-31 against the Chiefs. And finally, let's talk about how the New York Jets beat the Pittsburgh Steelers on Zach Wilson's return. However, Zach Wilson wasn't the only quarterback playing for the first time in this game. The Pittsburgh Steelers also put in their rookie quarterback Kenny Pickett to start in the second half of the game after Mitchell Trubisky didn't do well in the first half. However, Kenny Pickett didn't do much, and the Jets ultimately won. Even though the Jets won, however, I think there are a few things that the Jets need to work on. First of all, we need to make sure we clean up all the penalties we had. We had a lot of costly penalties that we shouldn't have had, and I think we need to make sure we work on that. I think the Jets also need to make sure they shore up the offensive line, which has been decimated by injuries. Overall, though, I thought that Zach Wilson played really well on his return, and even though he needs to work on his accuracy a bit, in the clutch moments, I thought he made the throws he needed to make to ultimately lead the Jets to victory. Zach Wilson even ended up catching his first touchdown pass back, which was on a trick play that involved him throwing the ball to a wide receiver, and then the wide receiver throwing the ball back to Zach Wilson, who ran into the end zone for the touchdown. And of course, as his touchdown celebration, Zach Wilson hit the gritty. It was really fun to watch, and I'm just glad that the New York Jets were able to win. Anyways, now let's move on to my top 4 predictions for Week 5 of the NFL. My top 4 predictions for Week 5 are, I think the Green Bay Packers will beat the New York Giants. I think that the Los Angeles Rams will beat the Dallas Cowboys. I think that the Philadelphia Eagles will beat the Arizona Cardinals. And I think that the Baltimore Ravens will beat the Cincinnati Bengals. So let's start off with the Green Bay Packers versus the New York Giants. For this game, we have 2 3-1 teams facing off in London. However, I think the Green Bay Packers will win simply because each team that the New York Giants have beat have had below average defenses. The one time they lost was to the Dallas Cowboys, who have the 3rd-ranked defense, and their offense was not able to get much going in that game. I think that this is going to be the case in the game against the Packers, because the Packers have the 6th-ranked defense and will most likely be able to contain the Giants' offense. If the Giants are going to win, they're going to have to rely heavily on their running game and Saquon Barkley, which they already have been doing. But this is because that the running game is the weakness of the Packers defense, and so if the Giants are to win, they're going to need to run the ball a lot. However, I think that because the Packers offense has also been really good and the Giants offense is ranked 28th in the league, I think that the Green Bay Packers will win this game. Moving on to my next prediction, I think that the Los Angeles Rams are going to beat the Dallas Cowboys. Even though the Dallas Cowboys have played well with their last few games with Cooper Rush, their offense is 27th in scoring, meaning they haven't been scoring a lot of points and they've only been kept in these games because of their defense. I also think that Matthew Stafford has learned from his game against the 49ers last week, who also had a great pass rush just like the Cowboys, that he needs to release the ball quickly. So I think he'll definitely have worked on that, and I think he'll be releasing the ball much quicker in this game. I also think that the Rams will utilize their running game more in this game, as defending the run has been one of the biggest weaknesses for the Dallas Cowboys defense. So because of all these reasons, I think that the Los Angeles Rams will beat the Dallas Cowboys. Moving on to my next prediction of the week, I have the Philadelphia Eagles beating the Arizona Cardinals. The Eagles are 4-0 and have looked great throughout the first 4 games of football. They are a well-balanced team who have the #1 rushing offense as well as a great defense, which is ranked 8th in the league. Meanwhile, the Arizona Cardinals are kind of an unbalanced team as their defense is ranked 28th in the league. And so because of that, I think that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to win and improve to 5-0, remaining the only undefeated team in football. And for my final prediction of the week, I think that the Baltimore Ravens will beat the Cincinnati Bengals. For me, this was a very even game, as both teams are looking really good coming into this game. However, there are 2 reasons that I think that the Baltimore Ravens will win. Firstly, the Baltimore Ravens are at home, which gives them a slight advantage. However, the main and most important reason is the Baltimore Ravens have only trailed for 9 minutes this entire season. This means that they have only been down for 9 minutes between all 4 games that they have played this year. This was really impressive, as it shows that even though they've lost 2 games, those were just last-second collapses, and they were leading for almost all of the game. So, for those reasons, I think the Baltimore Ravens will beat the Cincinnati Bengals. So to recap my top 4 Week 5 NFL predictions, I think that the Green Bay Packers will beat the New York Giants. I think that the Los Angeles Rams will beat the Dallas Cowboys. I think that the Philadelphia Eagles will beat the Arizona Cardinals. And I think that the Baltimore Ravens will beat the Cincinnati Bengals. But be sure to leave your predictions down in the comments below. Also, make sure to tell me down in the comments where you think I was right and where you think I was wrong with these predictions. And make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any more great content by the NFL Kid. Until next time, my fellow football fans, see you at game time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.